Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I just wanted to take a moment to breathe with all of you. Through all the panic and fear and illness and seclusion, I wanted to just breathe for a moment. This symbol is an ancient Sanskrit symbol. It's a beautiful reminder to do what comes naturally. It's the first thing we do when we come into this world, and it's the last thing we do when we leave it. So this symbol does mean, the meaning behind it is breathe. So it could mean many different things to many different people. To me, it means to basically stop for a moment, think about the amazing things that you have in your life. Stop and smell the roses, like literally smell them. What do they smell like? Are there water droplets on them? Do they have some fading in the leaves, in the petals? Do they have prickles? Are they going to hurt your finger? Just take a moment to breathe and think about the beautiful things that we have around us. Our family. Even though we are all secluded and isolated, and some of us are alone, some of us are missing our family and friends and shopping and all of that stuff that we used to do, that we're used to. Now we just have to take a moment to breathe and look at what we have. Take this moment to come together. Even though we're all separated or secluded or isolated, we're going to come together through all of this. This is one thing that I know is when you're painting with me, we have unity. We have a group of people who love this and who are passionate about this, and they live and breathe this. So I know that there are a bunch of you that are going to be painting with me, and that makes me feel not so alone, not so secluded and isolated, and we don't like change so much sometimes, but this is a change, and it's going to be okay. And I'm just going to try and breathe with you guys through this and appreciate what I have. And I'm very grateful for all of you. I'm very grateful for my boys. I'm grateful for my kids, my animals, my family. I'm grateful that I continued to paint even though I thought I sucked at it. Even though I was told pretty much my whole life, yeah, that's not good. You shouldn't. No, you can't draw. Same with singing, didn't really have much of a support in my family with my singing, with some of my family. But yeah, I kept going. I love singing. I love how it makes me feel. It's gotten me through some tough times. Music has really got me through. And art as well. And this is only within the last 7-8 years. It's really got me through a lot of stuff. So, today, let's breathe. I'm going to explain this little image here as I go along. I started it off with pencil, and now I'm doing it in gold, but I'm going to clean it up with black, and you'll be able to see the design a little bit better. So if you start at the top, there's 3 dots at the top. Then it's almost like a teardrop, but you can square it off a little bit at the bottom instead of it being a rounded off teardrop. Then there's a nice little swoop underneath that teardrop, and I do not know the technical terms of this symbol, so please do not come for me. So then we have the teardrop, there's a swoop, then there's a 3. It kind of looks like a 3 with a little monkey tail out the back. Then it's sitting on a spring, kind of like a springy chair, so it can bounce on their little springy chair. Now I flipped it upside down so you can't see it. But then there's an upside down teardrop underneath that springy chair and a little curl at the bottom. So it's hard to see right now. I don't have it all blackened out for you yet. I've only done the gold outline. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside of this gold and cut it out with some black. So it's actually going to be a black symbol with gold outlines, but we're doing it backwards, if you know what I mean. So right now I'm just cleaning it up, making sure it looks the way I want it to. I did use a ruler and put a pencil line down the center of my stone, just so I wanted to keep my symbol as straight as possible, but I get rid of all that pencil line right now, as you can see. Getting rid of all of the mistakes that I made. And once I've cleaned this up, you'll be able to see the image a little bit better. I will leave the link for the image that I was working from off of Pinterest, and I will leave that image in the description of this video. That way you can look at it, or you can just Google what is the symbol for breathe, and the symbol will come up and the meaning will come up. Maybe different meanings, but I told you the one that I've been working off of has this certain meaning that I explained already at the beginning. So I just very, very attracted to this symbol, and I'm tempted to get a tattoo. I actually I have to remind myself, and my husband reminds me all the time to, babe, stop for a second, look at the sunset, look at this. Like, we were fishing, and the sunset was just gorgeous. And we were on our paddle boat, just me and him fishing. And he's like, babe, and I'm a fisherman, like I can fish. I'm actually just, I guess you could say I just like to compete with my husband. I like to do better than he does when we go fishing. We catch and release, we put them right back most of the time, but I usually catch more than him. But anyway, I'm fishing. I'm being a real fisher person. And he's like, babe, look, babe. Finally, I look and I'm like, oh my God, where's my camera? Oh my, hold my rod. I got to find my camera. So I got a good picture. I will put the picture on my community page. So if you see me post a picture of a sunset, that's the sunset I'm talking about. I took the picture. I fell in love with the picture, and you'll see why. And I got it blown up super big on a canvas for my husband for his birthday last year. And on the back, I wrote, thank you for making me stop for a second and see this. Thank you for making me stop and breathe and smell the roses, basically. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have captured this with my camera. And I'm so grateful that I was able to capture it, because not only is it the sunset on the lake where we have spent most of our date nights for the last 2.5 years, because we were secluded in a tiny little town 2 hours away from our family and friends. Our date nights were on the paddle boat on this little lake, and it was amazing. We loved it. It was something I'll never forget. He actually lost his wedding ring in that lake because we were hardcore fishing. I think we both had one at the same time, or something happened, and his ring flew right off his finger, and we both just stood there looking at each other, and we literally heard it like bloop right into the water. And there was no coming back from that. We could not get his ring back. We knew it was a little big on his hand, but we had no idea we were going to lose it in this lake. So thank God I got a picture of that lake blown up for my husband. It's beautiful. I'll post it on Facebook. I'll post it on here. It's right above our bed in our bedroom. It's blown up really, really big. It's some of my favorite colors in there. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, he made me take a moment to breathe. And this beautiful image with all of our memories captured in it. I can even put a little mark on it where his ring was lost in the lake. But yeah, it's awesome that he made me stop and breathe. I'm so thankful for him doing that with me all the time. I'm always multitasking. All my mind's always everywhere. And he's like, babe, look there's a deer. Look, I'll be on my phone. We're driving 2 hours away. I'll be looking down, working, replying to people, and babe, look, there's a deer. He makes me stop. He makes me breathe. And that's what I'm grateful for. So that's what I'm hoping to do for you guys today, even if it's for a short period of time. Even if I haven't explained my tutorial the way I normally do, I'll still do the best to show you how to do this anyway. So what I did, off story topic now, back to the rock. I did it all in gold, but I did it thick, right? Because I wanted to be able to go inside that gold and make it black. Because what I'm going to do once I've got this all filled out with black is I'm going to put glitter in there, because you know how I am. And just because there's a bit of chaos in life right now, a bit of stuff going down, it does not mean glitter is dead, okay? So I just want you guys to know there is still going to be some glittering going on. I'm watching my coffee get cold as I do this tutorial, but I can always make another. You guys are worth the cold coffee. How about that? So as you can see, I'm still kind of cleaning everything up. I'm glad I was able to give you a little story to cure the boredom while I was doing all of this cleaning up the whole time. It will look good very, very soon. Now, I actually, you can also use the molds from HappyDottingCompany on Etsy. I do have one that I'm going to show you at the end. I used one of Angela's molds that she sent me from HappyDottingCompany, and it's perfect for making these kinds of symbols. So I did it the exact same colors. I just used the molded stone, and you'll be able to see the difference between this real stone and the difference of using one of Angela's molds from her company on Etsy. Yeah, and you can decide whether or not you have a liking for one or the other. Either way, they're fantastic. I have a limited supply of stones, of course, and I might not have stones for quite some time. So I'm very grateful for Angela at the HappyDottingCompany for supplying us all with these awesome molds. Don't forget, you can use my 10% discount if you go and shop there. You have to spend $10 or more, but you use my code Rachel's Rocks Canada, all capital letters, all one word, and you can get a discount. And that way you can keep painting through all of this. You will not be sorry. So I am now adding glitter. So you can see everything's been cleaned out. I've kept all the outlines of gold nice and sharp so you can see it. I did go over that part again in some spots, because when I clean up, I do tend to erase too much gold sometimes. I'm sure that happens to everybody. But yeah, once I got it the way I liked it, I let it dry for a few minutes, and now I'm adding the hologram. Geez, you can use hologram; it'll still look beautiful. Any glitter, any glittered paint will look beautiful in here. If you're using like a purple, you can do a base coat of purple acrylic paint first, and then do the glitter over top. If you're just using a different color, but I really wanted my symbol to stand out, so I kept it black. We're going to be dotting the rest of it, so we want the symbol to really stand out. So I'm using Dragonfly Glaze 44380. It's beautiful. I'm trying to show it to you now that it's dried a little bit, but I use it often in the last couple of videos, so it's beautiful. I will leave all paint colors that I've used in the description. So I'm going to start off with Calypso Blue and a toothpick, because there's a lot of little parts that I have to go in. I'm using the toothpick. So I'm sure you guys have a toothpick or something similar lying around your house that you will be able to use. I gradually use bigger dots as I go out, but in the center where the symbol is, I'm using very small dots. You don't have to do this part. You can do your background and like blend it with sponges and do a funky background and then do the symbol over top if you're not a fan of doing dots. Or you can just leave it on a black stone or paint this on a natural colored stone without dots or a background. Just keep the stone natural and put the symbol right on there like a tattoo. It's totally up to you what you guys want to do with this. Just remember what the symbol means. It's very important for us to take a moment to breathe. It will get us through some of the hardest times if we just pay attention to what's important and just take a moment to breathe through hard times, stressful times, when you're angry, when you're completely lost and have no idea what to do next. Just breathe for a moment. And the best part about this is that we have the internet. We have the ability to reach out. If you need to reach out to me, please do so. Reach out to anybody you possibly can if you're feeling lost right now. I am very busy with my kids at home. My husband is at home, and he works for the gas companies. So he is needed on emergency basis only right now. And it's scary because he's got to go places where this virus is or could be. A lot of people coming back from warmer places that were told to come back to Canada, they might have this virus, and my husband has to go into their home and light their gas because they've been away for the winter. Or they're all coming back to seclude themselves for 14 days. So my husband is needed still in the workforce, and it scares me. So I would like you all to pray for him and pray for our health here. So far, we are all good, and there's no confirmed cases in our area. So that's awesome to hear. Hopefully we can all stay in our house, people. I'm yelling that out my window, by the way. I see way too many people out there still when they should be inside enjoying their families and painting with me. So I'm still planning on doing a live. I'm using different colors of paint. You can see all the paint colors will be listed. The first color I used, I'm sorry, I'm going back to the paint for a second. First color I used was Calypso blue. Second color was French blue. I'm using bigger dots as I go out towards the outside of the rock. Now I'm using African violet, but I've added some white to it to give it this light violet color. And then I'm going to add some African violet to that to darken it a little bit. And I'm going to have 3 shades of that African violet. So here's the lightest shade of African violet. Then I'll add a little bit of the African violet to this pinkish African violet color I'm showing you right now, as confusing as this may be. What I did was lighten my African violet. And now I'm going to darken it as I go out the rock. So I'm going to change it to 3 different shades of African violet. You'll see as I'm talking that I am going to dot the outer edges right now with the lightest color of African violet. I hope to God you all can follow this. I'm not very good at explaining myself sometimes. But I love you. Does that matter? I love you all. Please forgive me. Yeah, I'm using a bit of a bigger dotting tool. I didn't stick with the toothpick throughout the whole thing. So, yeah. So I just want everyone to stay inside. Keep your families safe. Don't hoard toilet paper, please. Don't hoard baby wipes. Don't hoard formula. There are babies out there who are starving and their parents can't breastfeed. Well, their dads definitely can't. Or at least I don't know if they can. There might be things going on in the world I don't know about. But somebody will tell me. But their mothers can't breastfeed for whatever reason, and they need that formula. So please, Lord, please stop hoarding the food. Stop hoarding the toilet paper, the Lysol wipes. Some people need to clean just because their cat puked on the floor. I just need a Lysol wipe for that. Thank you. I actually ordered myself Lysol wipes for my birthday, and they were supposed to be here on the 19th. And they're nowhere to be found. And I actually paid $89 bloody for Lysol wipes for my birthday. How many of you all feel bad for me right now? I just want to clean up my cat puke, people. Yeah, I still haven't gotten them. Still tracking is like not giving me any answers. Still hasn't even been shipped. So kind of upset about that. I might not even get them by the time my birthday is here on Sunday. And then I'm going to have to actually use like spray cleaners. And I don't have very many paper towels either. So I'm going to be in trouble. So I have added a little bit of the African purple to that lighter color to darken it. As you can see, it's gradually getting a little bit darker. And now the third row of African violet that I'm putting in here, I'm not even going all the way to the edge of the rock. I'm just going along the edge of that lighter African violet. And I want to still see some of the black. So I want it to kind of fade into black. And that's the best way for me to explain it. So I'm not going all the way to the edge of the rock. I'm just filling in a little bit of the African violet, natural, not changed with white, completely right out of the bottle, African violet. So I hope this makes sense to you guys, because it's going to be worth it. You can do it in any colors you want. You don't have to choose these colors. If I'm making it confusing just with the African violet portion of this, don't use my colors. You use whatever colors you want. What colors do you want to see when you need to remind yourself to breathe for a moment? What colors do you want to see? That's all that matters. I'm showing you the symbol. I didn't make this symbol up. Here, guys, it's resined. It's resined. It's so beautiful. Sparkles. The symbol stands out. It looks beautiful. The colors are beautiful. I'm going to show you also with one of the HappyDottingCompany molds that I used. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's gorgeous. Here's the one from HappyDottingCompany. Now, if you've seen this mold, it's yellow and it's an oval and it's nice and big. It's about 4.5 inches long, I believe. I could be wrong. And this is how it turns out on one of those. Even more beautiful. So if you don't have stones available, they are available. Check my description of this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to breathe.